Well, I got this pile of 1 by 9 actually. Actually, they're only 3/4 by 9 inches by anywhere from 66 inches to 70 inches. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some garden boxes out of these. So this is just old stuff that was ripped off actually it was ripped off a garage, but they're not rotten. They're just weathered and so forth. You see the ends here, they're all pretty good. I'm going to square them up and I'm going to cut them all to 66 inches long, and then I'm going to rip them all to exactly 9, and then I'm going to make garden boxes 27 inches high and 66 inches long, and they'll be, I'm going to probably make it between 33 and 36 inches depending on how I can sort this material. I have some more in my shed, and I don't like wasting stuff, and if I can keep it out of the landfill, why not make garden boxes? Because this is just raw wood, so it's just pine, so it's not going to leach chemicals into my food. So I am going to put a drain clad on the inside to keep this from, prevent it from rotting, but I don't like using pressure treated for garden boxes because they, yeah, there's chemicals and stuff in there, and I really don't want to eat that stuff. So, and I plan on eating all the food that comes out of these. So anyways, stay tuned, and let's see how it turns out. Well, look what I found. I got some old cedar it was from an old playground actually, and the cedar's not all rotten. It does have a stain on it, but at least there's not chemicals from the pressure treated stuff that'll be leaching. So, plus my garden boxes will be up a bit because they're going to be 27 inches high, because I'm able to cut all these down now to, they're all 66, and I'm going to rip them down to 9 inches wide. But I also found some more stuff here. So all this stuff here, this is just spruce and pine that was in somebody's field that they was just rotting at the fence row. So I asked him if I could have it, and he said, sure, go ahead, take it, get it out of me here. So they're actually pretty good. They're not rotten. There's a few cracks in them, but you know what? I love to give things a second chance. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to give these boards a second chance. Yeah, maybe I'll get 5, maybe 10 years out of them for garden boxes, but I'm going to line them. So it's not like there's going to be no water or damp dirt sitting against any of these boards. So I think they'll last, I would say, probably 10 years at least. So by then I'll probably won't want to do any gardening. So anyways, yeah, my corners are all going to be these cedar. They're 3x5s, so they're perfect. So I'll cut them down to 27 inches, and I got a bunch of them. The guy was just throwing them out, so I took them. So there you go, make things new. So here we go. These are the garden boxes. This is the material that I had that someone was throwing out. So these are cedar 4x6s, and then that's just board and batten material. It's only 9 inches wide by 3/4, so, but it'd be fine. And then I had this old stuff someone was throwing out, had it on in the edge of their field, and it's all fine. Look, I ripped it and it's not rotten at all. So I'll actually, I'll probably cap these with aluminum on top just to keep the water from sitting and rotting that out. And then on the inside, I'm going to do it, put drain clad all inside, so that keeps, there'll be no dirt and nothing, no water sitting against these boards, because that's what will rot it, is when the dirt sits against here. That's how it ends up rotting. So if you keep that away and keep that dry and keep some air in there, and the drain clad I'm going to use has little dimples on it, so it keeps it away from the wood, so it actually lets it dry out. So all I did was I took these 4x6 cedar that came from an old playground that someone was throwing out, and I nabbed it. And so what I did is I nailed on the they're actually 9 inch. You can use 1x12, whatever you want. I went 27 inches high because that's what I had. And I just took the nail gun, nailed them on the back side of this. And once those are on it, I left about 2.25 inches right here, because these boards here are not all the same size. These do not have to look pretty. They're just, it's for my garden, for vegetables and stuff. And it just, you know what? I'm not getting graded on this. So anyway, and then what I did, so I nailed these on first, and then I just butted these here up against those ones right there, and then toe nailed them on an angle. I used 2.25 inch galvanized on that side, and I used 3.25 galvanized on this side, and put them on the angles. So there is no way that's coming apart. So they're good and stable. I'll likely cap these with aluminum after. You know, if I've got some scrap aluminum, I'll bend something up to sit on top. I might even cap these guys because anything, I mean, I have a 20-degree bevel on these, so water won't sit there, but it's still, eventually they'll rot. So if I can keep them from rotting a few extra years, great. These things are only going to last 5-10 years at most. But for free material, and literally it took me maybe 45 minutes to make each one of these, so it doesn't take very long. Because I had the material already, I had to just rip them and cut them, and it was easy. So anyways, give material a second chance, give it a second life. These will last, like I said, another 5 or 10 years, and it beats going into the landfill. So you may ask me, well, that's pretty deep in there. It's 27 inches deep. That's a lot of soil. You're right, it is. So what I'm going to do, I have a huge pile of compost, like all my dead leaves and stuff like that, and clean sawdust. So I'm going to actually put it all in the bottom. Probably I have enough to fill these up. I bet you I can get 20 inches of soil or of compost in the bottom of these, and then just put a foot of topsoil on top, so I'll save myself some money. I have a tractor that I can load these up rather than doing it all by hand. I mean, if I had to do it by hand, shovel and wheelbarrow, it's not that bad. But anyways, there you go. Giving things a second chance, giving things a second life, instead of ending up in the landfill. There you go. Hopefully it'll feed us and gives a few veggies. So I got about enough to make 4 to 6 of these. So we'll see how it goes. Anyways, there you go. Garden boxes for dirt cheap.